gonna tell you why I'm voting for Donald Trump. So I never thought I'd be at this point. I used to discourage people, especially entertainers, content creators, about talking about politics. I've been anti-politics in the country all my life. But I did have to deal with politics once my little brother was born. In my household, I had to learn politics because he was the favorite. And, I learned politics living in my house. Then from there, football, wrestling, track. There was always politics in sports. Any way you cut it, it was politics. And people used to cry about the politics. Then I went to college. I was in the fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha, politics, right? Whoever was the most liked was the top dog and so on. Then from there, I went to jail, Fresno County Jail. I was fighting a case because I did something stupid in college. So I was in the politics of jail, right? They labeled me as a shot caller because I was buff and muscular and very militant and mean. And so from there, I went to practice Islam and I learned politics of Muslims, right? From the Muslims, I went to a gang. I was a shot caller in a gang, and that's when I really learned politics. I learned that, the top dog got special privileges and looked at different from the pawns or the soldiers. So I learned a lot. San Quentin became a shot caller of an organization called Kumi 415, and the politics was crazy. I had to deal with whites, Mexicans, internal things. That was mostly what I experienced was internal. And when I became the top person, I had the other people trying to knock me down, right? If I got transferred to another facility, I had to come and organize and restructure things. So I must say, even though prison is a bad place, I learned about politics and people. I learned how to deal with people. I used to have hundreds of guys live in my hands, so I had to learn. So besides that, I grew up, not concerned with politics as a kid. I didn't care about who was the president, vice president, mayor, governor, senator, none of that, right? Because my mother, one thing she taught us was to mind our business, and she raised us conservative. And so only thing that meant anything to me was getting financially stable. So all my life I went about, dealing with the politics. I told you guys, sports, religions, gangs, kid in my household. But when it came to the government, I wasn't concerned because in my community, I was told it don't matter who's the president or mayor or governor. You have to get your money and get established in life. So I never cared. I'll never forget, I got out of prison in 2001 and I think Bush was president. I don't even remember because I didn't care, right? But I did know when I was a kid, Reagan was president. And everybody was happy Ronald Reagan was president because he was an actor turned president. It was a big deal and it was a lot of money flourishing. And so I didn't know the difference between a Democrat or a Republican. Only thing I knew when I watched Malcolm X movie, he talked about the Democrats and how they was harm to the black community. I remember that. Then when I went to prison, I read a book a day. So I learned a lot about history. I learned that Democrats were for slavery. They killed Abraham Lincoln, which was a Republican, for freeing the slaves. The first blacks in office were Republicans. So I knew all this stuff, right? So I'll never forget, in 2007 that Obama ran, I'll never forget my mother and father, rest in peace to my stepfather, they went out to Washington because Obama was running the inauguration, right? And I just didn't feel nothing about it. And I'm like, why y'all voting for him? Because he black? It didn't excite me, and like I said, at that point, I still wasn't into politics. And so, bam, I never forget when Trump was running the first time. I was excited because I've been following Trump all my life. Every black person that wanted to get wealthy did. I was excited for him to be president, to see a charismatic guy like that to go into office. It was about money. We just had faith that he would bring up the economy, and he did. I didn't vote. I was under the assumption, just like most dummies that comment on my social media, yeah, ex-con, he can't vote. Telling me I'm an ex-con, I can't vote, and an ex-con can run for president? Like, it don't make sense. Like, these guys just don't, they're not studied. They're not around intelligent people. They don't know. They just go off what they hear. They recycle information. They just recite what they heard somebody else recite. But fortunately for me, and unfortunately, I was in prison, so I learned all about history. Right. And so like I say, when Trump was president, I soared. You know, a lot of people, I have even family members say it's not because of the president. It was because of your effort, your work. But I beg to differ. You know, if the economy is thriving and strong, just like when Ronald Reagan was in office when I was a kid, everybody had money. Everybody was living nice. It was happy, go lucky. You know, it was just awesome time. And so when Trump got in office the first time, it was like that for me. It was the most successful 4 years I ever had in my life. You know, of course I was putting in a lot of work, but things were just in place. Gas was down, groceries was down. And like I say, since I was a kid, I admired Trump. Any kid in the ghetto that's want to be rich, admire the rich people. You know, regardless if they're a Democrat or Republican or that, which I didn't even know the difference until, truthfully, maybe a couple of years ago, and I'm almost 50, right? It didn't matter to me. When I grew up, it was who's the person, what they believe in, what they say they go do. I didn't care if they was Democrat, Republican, independent, right, black, Chinese, Mexican, Arab. I didn't care what they were. What do they stand for? What is their family life like? Do people love them? Are they likable? Do they stand on their word? That's what it's about, you know. And so we're here. I never forget, my wife, she was adamant about me voting when Biden went against Trump. I was like, bro, I'm making money. That stuff don't mean nothing to me. You know what I mean? I ain't into politics. And I was taught as an entertainer, actor, YouTuber, whatever. We don't talk about politics, religion, none of that. And I stood on that. I don't have a sports team. I don't have a color, red or blue, none of that. You know, I stand on conservative principles, and that's taking care of your family, being a stand-up guy, don't hurt nobody if you don't have to, and be a great God-fearing person. Right? And so I never forget, my wife was like, vote, vote, vote. I'm like, nah, I ain't into that. So Biden won. I never forget, she cried like a baby. And I didn't get it at the time, you know. And now, as a year went along in that, in the 2 years, everything started going downhill. Everything. I'm talking about financially, you know, gas was expensive. I had a ton of cars at the time. I seen the economy was going bad. I had to get rid of all those cars because I seen it about to crash and burn. And that's what it did in this last 3.5 going on 4 years. So when I was in the street life, I had a lot of friends that were moving weed, drugs, all of that in San Francisco. I'm from Oakland, California. My gang is all of the Bay Area. Kumi 415 is all of the Bay Area. So I was everywhere. And Kamala was a hot topic. A lot of you guys just see what you see on the TV and her reading teleprompters, which I'm not, by the way. Her reading teleprompters, and you know, she's a puppet. Most presidents, 99.9% except Trump, are puppets. And so it is what it is. They get paid a salary, right? What they get paid now, $250,000 or $500,000, something like that a year. They get told what to do, right? Of course, they get to interject what they feel or think. Ultimately, they get told what to do. So Kamala, when I was in the Bay Area, she was a hot topic. You know, everybody, you know, was real adamant about she had to get out of that spot, you know, as a DA, prosecutor. And she was just looked at as an evil woman, you know what I mean? And so I lived through that. You know, I lived through all these errors and been involved, but not concerned. Let me say it like that. And so I know the history of Kamala. You know, I lived it. I was living in it. I caught 2 cases in San Francisco myself, so I know. So, you know, fast forward to now, today. Trump, I've always been a fan since a kid. Now, if Trump, I don't care about red or blue. None of that matter. People got to realize, like I said, back in the day, Democrats were for slavery, just like they are now. They look for people that want handouts, right? If we looking at right now, for me right now, it's the worst time ever financially. Gas expensive, food expensive. Because of that, everything else goes up and it's expensive. You have to micromanage and macro manage your money now. You know, we in a sad place. So Trump, Like I say, we going back to Trump. I've been where he been, getting framed. People try to say he this, he that, he a fella, he got this case. I've been there. You know what I mean? I've got framed for several cases before. My sibling got charged with a case he didn't do. So I've experienced those type of things of getting blamed for something or framed for something you didn't do. So I understand that. So I never held that against him. And I've always been the person, like, if everybody going right, guess what? I'm going left. I was a kid when I seen the school fight, everybody running to it, I went the opposite way. That's just me. So I'm like, if everybody against this man, it gotta be something bigger. You know, I never been that sheep. I always been the leader. And so I dive into information. I dive into studying, researching to make sure, like I say, all my life, when the herd go that way, it's not the right spot to go. And so, you know, I'm voting for Donald Trump first. I love what he represents. He loved the country. He want to help the country. He already helped the country. He showed what he could do. The reason I'm not voting for Kamala, because she lies on lies, you know, on top of lies. She don't even realize he's in office right now, causing all the chaos. You know, the open border. Boys can play in women's sports. Immigrants, we giving them all the money, all medical. Bro, my medical, me and my family, $1,500. And we just go let some immigrants come in and get it for free. And I got to pay taxes on top of that. I had to pay not 2 taxes, state, federal. I got to pay state, federal, and another state of California, 3 taxes, you know, and so it just don't make no sense. We need Trump in there to come and run the country like he did. It wasn't no wars. Oh, not to mention the wars. Kamala and Biden. Like, bro, it's chaotic. Wars happen. Trump wasn't no war. Like, I don't know how fellow dark-skinned people just don't see what's going on. I don't understand it. You know, and people coming on my social media thinking they bashing me or talking bad, bro. Like I say, I was that kid. Y'all run to the fight. I'm going the opposite way. I'm a warrior. And, you know, it always went bad. I stand on what I believe, man. I'm doing this for my kids. Like, I don't want my son, daughter running off and being able to transition or ruin their body, cut their breasts off and penis, and don't even have to tell me the laws and come on, stuff like that. It don't make sense, man. So I just want to say I'm voting for Donald Trump, because I believe in him. I believe he gonna change the economy. I believe he gonna shut down the border. I believe that he's going to make sense of the world. And now everybody talk about this racist stuff. I've never seen a racist bone in Trump's body. Never. He helped so many. He helped way more blacks than Kamala and Biden. What they did, gave a few dollars to $750 through the hurricane. Is that help to you guys? Is it help that all these people, families that got murdered by immigrants? Is that the help you talking about? What help are you talking about they done? What have they done? Democracy. They talking about shutting down social media platforms to where we can't even talk. Let's be realistic, man. And you know, like I say, all the black people that think somebody supposed to be Democrat, you're the sheep. You're the Uncle Tom. Because guess what? Republicans always been for blacks. They the ones who got us out of slavery. So, you know, do your research. Don't just listen to what everybody say. I recommend everybody vote for Trump, man. We need to do this for our kids, our grandkids, great-grandkids. It'll never be the same if we don't. And like I say, y'all have to realize this last 4 years, how have your life been? Have your bills went up? Have your gas went up? Your groceries? Have all these things increased? If so, there's a problem. The immigrants just coming in by the droves, taking over cities. Come on, y'all. You gotta be brighter than this. You know, it just don't make sense how somebody can even think of voting for the people that already been ruining the country. So with that, like I say, this is my first time ever doing a video like this, and it's been on my heart and spirit and soul for about 2 weeks now, and I've been fighting it. Finally today, I'm like, I gotta do it. You know, maybe this change people's perception, ideology, their opinion. But if you love your kids, your grandkids, you gotta vote Trump, man. But we see where it's at now. Like if Trump don't get in, what, just millions of more illegal immigrants just go come in and do what? When I was a kid, we used to talk about the Mexicans from Mexico just come on over, kill some people and go back home. I mean, it's gonna be no different. You know what I mean? So Please open your eyes, get out your feelings, do your research. Don't let the media sway your thinking or feelings. Be smart. That's what I gotta say. You don't have to listen to me or nobody else. Do what you pray on it. We never hear these democrats talk about God or praying. Pray to God, man. The best decision. Don't go off feelings. Don't go off somebody's color. Don't go off what you heard. Oh, I heard Trump is a racist, but I don't know. I think my friend said it. Don't do none of that, man. Do your research, study, do what's best for you and your family. You know what I mean? Because all we see, these people in Hurricane Helene lost millions and hundreds of thousands worth of property, and they was given $750. That's unethical. So yeah, let's make it too big to rig. Trump 2024, man. Let's go. Love y'all, man.
Do you desire the finer things in life? I do too. I did 11 years in prison, actually California prison systems, 11 years. And I got out and acquired everything I desired. I got out of San Quentin prison with only $300. I turned that $300 into millions. And I want to help you do the same thing. Firstly, I'm going to give you my cell phone number, my personal cell phone number. We'll also have weekly Zoom calls. Keep the group accountable. Throw ideas off each other, keep up with the latest trends, and I'm leading the class every week to make sure you stay accountable, to make sure you staying motivated, make sure you staying ready to be successful and get this money. Let's get it with no hesitation or procrastination, man. Sign up today. Hey, you don't want to miss out on this opportunity of a lifetime.